little, want to keep this as informal as possible. We all came here to talk and ask us questions, so even let us, we can be comfortable. Usually the board meetings are pretty formal, and they, tend to get out of hand a little bit with some shouting and things. Like you said, the tensions kind of flare at those meetings because you can't get to say what you want to say. And if we could use this for just a type of discussion, we can get some thoughts and you can express some concerns you have for us. Maybe get a question answered like Adam said that you can't normally do. But just in my opinion, there's this is yet another turn of events in the Armstrong School District that's a great turn of events. Once again, is about the third time that this has happened. A huge upset has happened after an event has taken place, which some of us would call a progressive movement towards the Armstrong School District. Those of you that have followed it or been back in the '85 time frame when a new high school was planned, the whole scenario, bonds were issued, plans were in effect, everything was picked, and board changed, everything went in the tank, gave back some bond money, lost some bond money, did some little renovations over the course of the summer on a few high schools. There again we had the Katanning and Ford City consolidation era when we consolidated those. We didn't really consolidate the buildings. We used buildings for a different, what they were outlined for. Was a change. Anyways, there again, the board changed. Everything was put back apart because there was fear that there was a direction of the super school. And I kind of like to joke about the super school, the fear from the super school, the fear that the school is going to be across the river, the fear that it's going to be in West Hills. I don't know what all that fear is, why anybody would be that upset about it when it's not really been. I mean, it was a thought of it once before, but never again have we talked about that. So here we are again. We closed the high school, we closed Elderton, had some savings to the district, increased some opportunity for kids. Kids to this point, for the most part, are dealing well with it or happy with the changes that have taken place. And now we've suffered yet another board change, a board swing, and now being on the board, got to firsthand witness all the radical changes that have taken place in just 4 months of this new board. Some of you may realize what's all taken place. Some of you may not know everything that's taken place, but the first meeting that the new members were sworn in that night changed the vote around to reopen a high school. Very radical movement on the part of those new board members coming in to make those changes that quickly. And probably the next greatest thing is our administrative staff has been uprooted, and it's changing fast. We've already declined to have an assistant superintendent replaced, contract renewed. I don't know what the plans are for an HR director. That assistant superintendent was director of HR. We have probably 800 employees, and I don't know what the plans are for a human resources director that manages all of our employees. We've lost a coordinator of curriculum, K-12 curriculum, has just resigned and left, went to a neighboring school district. And our legal counsel was removed at a special meeting. It was kind of an eventful meeting. It was unknown to me, everything that happened at that meeting, that every question I asked had been already answered, and there was movement on where that was going to go before the meeting started. Yet another radical move. My concern is that we can at least keep a hold of our superintendent, that he can continue to try to get through this and try to help us get through some time here. If we can get grips on things, that he'll still be there to help us through this. Something should happen that we lose a superintendent. I don't know what direction we're going to be at that point. We've lost a lot of talent on our board. It's obvious that this new board majority, if your ideas and feelings aren't all in line, if a board feels one direction, they certainly can't work with a board, with an administration that they can't trust, and they don't know that they're doing what they've asked them to do. So therefore, you see what is taking place. It's, you know, we want to do what we want to do, so we've got to have our people doing it. So with that, that's kind of where we're at to date. A lot of radical movement in 4 months, a lot of big changes. But I'm glad to see that there's people out that are getting involved in this. I can't stress enough that I hope the school district now will see the value in keeping people involved in the school district and keeping the seats occupied. We know now how critical it is that we keep people on the board, and they got to stay involved in it. We got an $85 million budget, a business that we have to maintain. It's bigger than any of our other county budgets, and it's certainly something that everybody needs to think about. And it's a volunteer job too. That's we're elected, but it's a volunteer job basically is what it is. So we need to stay involved in it. You can't. We fell asleep at the switch these few times now, and what makes this whole situation different now is, I believe in the past we had the money, we had some resources, and we were able to pull ourselves out of it. This time with the pension, I mean, everybody's read about the pension, the contributions by the districts, what they're expected to rise to, whether or not we'll be able to pay those. I believe that hanging over our heads is going to make it really tough to recover from this right now. We did have a little excess in our budget last year, and it's immediately being spent away right now, and to the point where it's going to be questionable whether we can even make a budget this year. So the money went that fast. It's going that fast. And if you follow anything in the news, you see it all the time. Classes are being eliminated in some school districts to reduce staff, to save money, to make the budget. And you know the writing's on the wall. It's going to happen. There's going to have to be some cuts someplace to make it work. So I'm going on. I want to get this moving. It's not what I have to say. It's what the rest. Maybe you've got questions. So whatever you've had planned next year.